You're listening to The Gorge! This is a podcast where my friend Sara and I gorge ourselves on overanalyzing a game or game-related topic every week. This week we are analyzing Marvel vs. Capcom.
No, we're not. We're listening. We're talking about My Hero Academia.
Yeah, okay. We can talk about that instead.
Yeah, we're talking about My Hero Academia right now. We are. I don't care if it has nothing to do with video games. Because, you know, it has a shitty shonen jump fighting game coming out for the Wii or the DS or who cares? This is our first bullshit week where we are completely bullshitting an excuse to talk about a topic because it's slightly linked to a game. Kind of tangentially, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I was willing to go, like, I just learned that the 3DS game is being made. I would have gone in the fact that it's published by Shonen Jump, and Shonen Jump Ultra came out a few years ago.
That's perfectly fine.
That would have been the poll, but now we have a more direct poll.
We have a more direct poll. Never mind, the game will never come out in America unless it gets even more popular. Look, none of that matters because My Hero Academia is fucking awesome.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good.
So fucking good. Oh my god. And I know I've told you before, I think it's also kind of by the numbers. But, like, it does those numbers really well.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, you can do great work with a paint-by-numbers kit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You can color in those lines real good.
You can be so pretty, and that is exactly what My Hero Academia is. It is pretty and colored right in those lines, and you know what? I eat that shit up.
So, the anime ended last week? Yeah, last week.
Yeah, this past Sunday.
This past Sunday, the last episode of the season aired. Not the last episode ever. We're getting season 2. They already said
we'll be so sick.
They already said we'll feed you, baby bird. It's okay. We got you.
Gonna be so sick.
On a side note, I'll feed you, baby bird is the line I repeat in my head whenever I'm helping an old lady out with customer service on IT.
Oh yeah.
I just go, I'll feed you, baby bird.
Don't you worry, little old lady bird. I got you. Daddy's got you.
But so the anime ended in I was hooked on episode I had a friend who told me oh, go read My Hero Academia, and I always when I got around to doing it. Then I watched the first episode of the anime, and I'm like, I'm in. Yep, that was easy. I'm in.
Boy, that was super easy. Yeah, it took a little bit of coaxing because I don't know, it did look really, by the numbers for me, so I was just kind of it's another shonen anime. I mean, yeah, it's got some cool-looking animation, but how good can it really be? Oh,
it's that good.
It's that good.
It can be that good, okay.
I had no idea, and I know you had told me, or had mentioned a few times,
yeah.
Hey, maybe you should read or watch this.
Well, it's hard to recommend it to you because you despise superheroes.
I don't despise superheroes. Well, I might despise superheroes. I despise a lot of the tropes and the bullshit around superheroes. Me and comic books don't get along because unlike anime and manga, comics are just in constant flux. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The continuity of a character or whatever.
Well, let's clarify one thing because I'll get complaints about it. We're only talking about superhero comics. We know indie comics are better.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm talking about superhero comics because that's what most people think about when you say comics. So, yeah, most comics are kind of in flux because it's all dependent on the writer. You know, it's not all one... It's not part of one big vision. It's kind of well, these 10 issues are super good because they were written by Matt Fraction or whoever.
Yeah.
But the next 10 are total garbage. There's no real, consistency.
And these ones are good because they were written by Brian Michael Bendis. And these ones are bad because they were written by Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. So, that's my biggest beef with comics. But, hey, My Hero Academia doesn't have that problem because it's not a comic, it's a manga. So it has all the good things of comics and all the good things of manga. And I love it. And it's so good. I have cried more times in the last week just watching and reading it than I did in probably the entire time, the 6 combined years I was into One Piece.
As someone who does read a lot of superhero comics and consumes a lot of superhero media, My Hero Academia is such a I described it to you as a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely.
Because comics nowadays, especially superhero comics, are very they're a very cynical product, I feel like. And a lot of them are trying to lean onto being more convoluted, and there's a lot of cynicism and trying to be, like, edgy and, like, trying to be more dramatic and serious than it needs to be. And My Hero Academia is just such a exciting romp.
Yes, absolutely. And exciting is the exact word, because my God, it moves fast.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Dude, in
hell?
97 not even 100 chapters, in 2 years, he's covered, like, 7 story arcs?
Seven story arcs, I would want to say. There was the entrance exam, so, like, there's the origin story / entrance exam.
Yeah.
There's the stuff kind of between the USJ.
Yeah, well, there's the pre-USJ stuff, or there's the pre-USJ stuff, then there's the USJ stuff, and then there's the school festival.
And then the post-school festival.
Yeah, and then
which is kind of all the same thing. But
yeah, then the final exam, right? The final exam came after that?
Yes.
Yeah, the final exam, and then the school trip.
Yep.
And then
the rescuing Bakugo arc. Which, I mean, I lost track. That is a lot of story in 97 chapters.
That's 7 story arcs. And then after the Rescue Bakugo arc, kind of leaned into the All for One arc.
Yeah, that's all kind of like this. I guess All for One is like the finale of Rescuing Bakugo.
Yeah, so that's around 7 story arcs, and there's, like...
That's incredible.
He's fast.
That's incredible, considering One Piece was... 100 chapters, One Piece hadn't even finished its, like, 3rd story arc.
Around 100 I don't remember exactly what the exact numbers, I think.
Either.
But, like, My Hero Academia, it's great, especially great, because it basically does everything Naruto did, but better.
Oh, it is. It's like Naruto 2.0.
It is better Naruto, without a doubt.
Absolutely, 1000%. There's like the anime version of a magic school, and in one case it's ninjas, and in one case it's superheroes. There's like a lonely kid who's kind of an outsider, and then all the other shit that goes along with it. It's like, yeah, it's Naruto 2.0, because like the teacher is a lazy piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, but it's awesome.
It's so good.
I feel like this is just gonna be 45 minutes of you and me going, it's awesome! But
I tried to take, like, because I plowed through the manga after the anime ended. I plowed through the manga because I'm like, I gotta know what happens next.
I must know.
So I plowed through the manga in like 4 days. And then I tried to take notes because I knew we were gonna record the podcast for this. And I'm just like, I can't. There's too much. I just ended up writing everything.
Every single goddamn panel.
Yeah.
Like...
So first off, I just want to talk, because the anime, just on merit alone, the anime is jaw-dropping incredible. And I think it's probably some of Bones' best work.
I still think that Brotherhood is its best work. But that's because Brotherhood is, for one, Full Metal Alchemist is the single greatest shonen manga ever written, and I say that all the time, but it's true. And two, it's definitely, Brotherhood is kind of like Bones' magnum opus of quality, because there's still, as much as I love My Hero Academia, there are still some like moments of lacking quality in the animation, because it is a shonen anime. They can get away with that kind of thing, because that's what it is. But I said that doesn't devalue how good it is. It's just not... I mean, it's still good.
I think, just like on like technical details, I think the comparison between things like color palette, and like overall, like, because keep in mind, Brotherhood was what, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they've had time to step up their game. I think on a technical aspect, Academia is better. Like, the color palette alone is just beautiful.
So rich. And
oh my god, it's so. It's so bright and poppy and...
But it's not, like, oversaturated.
Yeah, because, what was that one anime? I think K. I think it was just called K.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that trailer hit, and it had a Tumblr filter on the entire anime. It came pre-gift for you.
It did. Hey, you're right. Yeah, I think K was a total clusterfuck anyways.
Yeah.
It was one of those shows I didn't even know anything about.
I watched, like, one episode, and I'm like, nope.
Nope. No,
But-
thank you. Yeah.
But the color palette in My Hero Academia is just so bright. It pops so well.
And all of the colors are very, like, well coordinated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything, nothing seems to clash, even with the fact that All Might is done in a vastly different style. He still seems like he fits.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks to the use of, like, how cohesive the color palette is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you get characters that translate from manga to anime, and it doesn't quite work because they're different or the colors aren't really working for you. But there's really none of that in My Hero Academia. It's just amazing. I mean, it's so good. This is gonna be 45 minutes of me going, I love this show, but I don't mind. It's okay.
And just the animation quality. I mean, you got to mention the fight between All Might and the Nomu.
Nomu, oh my god,
Was 3.5 minutes of just the hypest shit.
Just the absolute pinnacle of just awesome, stupid shonen throwdown.
Yeah.
Like, just punch it until it can't be punched no more. Like, that is the essence of shonen, and it is awesome. It never felt cliche. I mean, it was super cliche,
Yeah,
of course.
but it felt good.
It felt great. Yeah, it just felt like fun. It didn't feel like it was being lazy. It felt more like it knew what it was doing.
There's two ways you can do, like, when you have a cliche work. And there's either you're doing it the lazy way, which is you go through by the numbers and all that, and you just kind of factory produce it.
Absolutely.
Or there's what I think My Hero Academia does, which it fully embraces all of them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, these are cliches for a reason, because they can be fun.
Because it can be awesome. You can have a giant muscular dude literally punch a monster thing into the literal stratosphere, and it does not feel tired or boring. You're just like, yeah.
When
awesome.
when you watched it, when we both watched it, I remember telling you, like, that was Kill la Kill episode 3 level of hype fight.
Absolutely.
Right there.
Which of course proves how awesome Kill la Kill is.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
We'll do that one later.
We'll probably find an excuse to do that one later.
We'll,
man, Kill la Kill.
The shame it'll be Kill la Kill didn't get a video game. There's your justification.
Boo, because there is no god.
But like, just the anime it's the perfect way to really get people to be completely fully on board for this show, because the anime is just so well done.
It really is, and
the music, the sound quality,
flawless translation too, and I guess that really helps because My Hero Academia moves so fast.
Yeah.
That they didn't have to skip over a single thing.
Yeah, I remember reading, like, people were like, "Oh, a 12-episode anime and for My Hero Academia. Oh, that'll get you to the Stain arc."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
wrong.
maybe it could have.
You know, it honestly, they actually had to pad it out. I know they padded it out in a few places. Actually, a lot of places. But it wasn't bad padding either.
No.
That was the craziest part. It was actually padding.
The
that
fight,
really helped it.
the All Might Nomu fight is extended in the anime, and it's all for the better, because you get to see All Might springboard off of him and stomp on him so hard he pops out and flies into the air.
and like during the USJ arc, you got to see more of all the students fighting these dudes too, and it was totally necessary. Like, the anime and the manga seem to go hand in hand so well that they could keep adapting the series until it's finished, and it would never really need a true filler episode.
Yeah, I can't imagine there being a lot of filler. If they keep doing this 12-episode season thing, I can't imagine there being a lot of filler.
Absolutely, because it's so well... Like,
it's so dense.
It's so dense, and there's so many places where you could add in extra stuff that wouldn't be extraneous. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It is like FMA in the sense that, like, the train does not stop.
Oh, never. That's one of its strongest points.
It's like every arc leads into the other one, just right after another, one after another. Boom, 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 boom. There you go.
It's never slow, and it never feels like it drags, because a lot of shonen really suffers from the dragging problem. Are we still in Hueco Mundo? You know what I mean?
So I just checked. Bleach, because the list of manga released in the week, is on there, and Bleach is on The End 2. And I'm like, okay.
Does that not say everything you need to say?
Bleach has been ending for like a year now.
30 years. Bleach started ending before Naruto started ending, and Naruto still managed to end before Bleach. Like, they announced, like, Bleach is ending! And then they announced, and then, like, it started to end, and I put that in finger quotes, and you can't see my finger quotes. It started to end, and then, like, 6 months later, Naruto was like, hey, I guess we're ending too.
I'm checking out.
We check it. Bye, bitches. Not really, because we still have that horrible spin-off. But
we've got the Borutos.
Oh, God. But they still managed to end Naruto in the period that Bleach has been ending. I mean, Bleach has been ending for like 7 years now or something, right?
It's like, Bleach is like, we're in the last arc. I think like a year ago is like, people were saying like, oh, Bleach is in its last arc now. It's going to end soon.
No, it's not. Bleach will never end because Kubo Tide has got to drag that series out. It will absolutely, the last chapter will be 30 pages of like Ichigo's hair wafting in the wind.
Listen, there's a lot of backgrounds to not draw, okay? Yes, I will throw Kubo Tite under the bus like that. Draw a fucking background.
Go fuck yourself, Kubo Tite. All of his backgrounds, his non-existent backgrounds, are literally like, I think the best thing that ever happened to him was the Huiko Mundo arc, because it was just desert for miles.
Yeah.
So you could just draw some like hills in the background. Like, look, I did a background. Like, you lazy piece of shit. Come on. I don't really like One Piece that much, but at least Eiichiro Oda bust his ass to fill those panels out.
Like, the latest chapter came out today, and I read it, and I'm like, I can't read this on my phone, because I can't see what's happening, because the backgrounds are so fucking rich.
It's so dense. I mean, like, come on, you lazy piece of shit. I know you can afford a few assistants to make it look a little bit better.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about My Hero Academia and how good it is.
I guess we're just going to bitch about shonen manga while we're here. Because My Hero Academia doesn't do any of that bullshit. That's the important point.
I think one of its strongest points, and if you're going to be doing a Silver Age tribute manga, dude, those characters are so good. I was thinking about it on the way home. There is only one character in the entire series that I hate.
Who is it?
It's fucking Endeavor. Endeavor.
That's because Endeavor is a literal human garbage.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even have any charm points. Like, Shiragaki is insane, of course.
Yeah. Like, this is one of the rare series where, like, usually I'm kind of, like, ambivalent towards villains in general. Mm-hmm. Just on basis of them being villains. People are like, oh, this villain did a really cool thing. And I'm like, he murdered, like, 20 people. That's not very cool. But...
You're such a good person.
Stain and Shiragaki... Shiragaki...
Fuck. Yeah.
There's like all the villains are just like, dude, those guys look really cool.
They look cool and they do cool things, and Stain is cool. Stain is really, really cool. Yeah. Like, I know, like you said, he killed a whole bunch of people, but
he's a cool burnt ninja man.
He's a cool burnt ninja blood guy, and when he realizes, like, this one is a hero worth sparing, suddenly he's like, I will save your ass, and I'm like,
and then he stood there and delivered a crazy psychotic speech with a rib jabbed in his lung.
Awesome, and then he literally passes out while standing up. Yeah. Come on!
And like all the heroes are like, can we take him down now? Like, is it good?
Can we touch him now? They're all just like, man. But yeah, fuck Endeavor.
Fuck Endeavor.
Fucking Endeavor, man.
Like, even Mineta, whose character trope I don't like,
I hate that
just
trope.
being the goofball pervert guy. Even Mineta has, like, cool moments, and his design is adorable.
His design is good. He's definitely he's above Endeavor, but that's it. Like that kind of character. I hate that kind of character trope. I get so tired of it.
Yeah.
Because it's so overdone. Come on, think of something different.
Yeah. We've seen that like a million times already, and like they had to do the hot springs thing.
Her. Yeah.
But at least no one joined in on him.
Yeah, that's
like
nice
at least
thing.
It's exclusive to him.
Yeah, they all realize like you're just a weird kid.
And then there was the part where Jiro stabbed him in the eye.
Oh, that was so awesome. Especially with, like, her little earphone jack.
I know!
That's gotta hurt, man.
Yeah!
Like, but, I mean, everybody else, all of the characters are so they don't all get as much screen time as Izuku and, Katsuki or Bakugo. I go back and forth.
But, that's by nature of, like, he's the main character, he's got to get the screen time, it's about him.
Right, of course.
But, like, you can tell that the author is trying really hard to include, like, you can tell the problem is that, like, he had a bunch of ideas for a lot of characters, and now he's like, I gotta find a way to make all of them do cool shit.
They all have to, and he's, so far, done a pretty good job of it.
He's doing a pretty good job of giving everyone at least one. Everyone gets one.
And I'm waiting,
so far.
I'm still waiting for, like, I can't even say
Uraraka.
Ochako. I'm just gonna say her last name, Ochako. She's so cool, and I need her to have more moments like that Bakugo fight. I need her to be allowed to be a frontline character, a frontline fighter.
And she's doing it because she trained with Gunhead.
It's awesome!
And, like, she has clearly stepping up to be, like, a frontline fighter. It's just that she didn't get her chance because everything happened at once.
Everything happened so much.
Oh, God, there's no time. There's literally no time.
There's literally no time.
Her fight with, what's his name? Can't Stop Twinkling, his real name.
Oh.
Because it was her and him against 13.
Asui? Is that Asui? No.
No, Asui is Tsuyu.
Yeah, she's Tsuyu, because I want to call her Tsuyu. What's his name? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Can't Stop Twinkling.
Sparkly one, yeah.
It was him and her versus 13, and, like, there's literally no time to show her fighting 13. No. There's no time.
It was horrible. I just wanted to see that, and I just... But she is cool, and she needs more chances to be cool, because she seems like if she could just be given a little bit more spotlight and a chance to really fight, she could be such a cool, unique, shonen female character.
Also, considering the fact that we are only 97 chapters in, like, dude, there's plenty of time.
Oh, there's plenty of time, absolutely.
Like, there's no chance this manga's ending anytime soon.
God willing. Now,
at the very minimum, it's like halfway done now.
Right, and we were talking about that earlier today. God willing, it will be a shorter shonen series. Like, I hope it wraps up at chapter, 200. That would be amazing.
I'm thinking, like, what is the last shonen that wrapped up quickly like that? And, like, the last one I can think of is, like, Death Note, which had 13 volumes.
Would you really consider Death Note a shonen?
It was in Shonen Jump.
Was it really?
Yeah, because Lights and Jump Ultra Stars.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
Oh
because,
my God.
Because when Death Note came out, and it was popular in my high school, dude, the little Shonen Jump logo was on all the volumes.
What is he... How does he do anything in that fucking game?
He writes your Death Note and you take damage.
Oh,
like, he's a summon character.
Okay,
you tap him in and he does the spell and then he teleports out.
Right. I completely missed that bandwagon, by the way. I know next to nothing about Death Note.
If you were to ask 15-year-old me, you missed out on everything. If you're asking 28-year-old me now, you missed out on pretty much nothing.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
No, like...
Yeah. But,
you missed out on, like, literally everyone in every convention being Light and L.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm glad I missed that bandwagon then.
But...
Yeah. But
God willing, like, yeah, 12 volumes or so I think it had, and, like, that's a pretty significant time.
Yeah.
But, like, enough to tell a story, and it's not enough to drag on like that, and I would be okay with it having a short runtime, but I would also not be okay with it if it decided to, hey, keep going, maybe, if you want to just keep writing this good.
You just want to keep making... Yeah, now, FMA did wrap up in 100 chapters, but those were monthly. Those were monthly chapters, so really, that's still, like, 200 chapters. So he could be doing the FMA route, where he's trying to wrap it up in a decently short time, and if that's the case, you should always try to emulate FMA. Yep. Always. Because it's the greatest shonen manga ever written.
And isn't, like, Attack on Titan ending in, like, 108 chapters because of death or something?
Wish it would hurry up and die. Because of all of the different dudes and, like, the shonen series that are going on right now, usually you see a better art evolution. Because, like, I'm not entirely pleased with the evolution of Oda's style with One Piece, for example, but it's a pretty significant art evolution.
There's a jump.
Isayama still can't fucking draw.
No, he can't draw faces.
He can't fucking draw. I'm
No,
sorry.
Nope.
Isayama cannot fucking draw. And I'm sure there's something fascinating going on in Attack on Titan, but I can't find it. I looked, too. I looked for like 50-something chapters. I'm like, surely it's gotta be...
Hey, Armin died.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
I was wondering what your response to that would be.
We're free! Oh my God. I just...
But anyway, like, speaking of art, fucking My Hero Academia's art is so
God,
good.
the art's so good. It's so expressive and bright and
it's in like, what's the word I'm looking? Energetic.
Yeah. And
fun.
Like, his facial expressions are so
They're
fun.
Incredible.
They're
like honestly, he is like more power to him for doing this, because like he's nailing it in like pretty much every aspect. He's nailing it.
Yeah, the facial expressions, and I mean like the goofy face faults are incredible, because you know how much I love that one of Bakugo.
Yeah. The fights are so expressive and dynamic.
And just like the
beautiful.
Exactly. And I can't even get it into words just how even their expressions are dynamic. Everything seems to just move. Like, it feels like things are moving on the page. It has such a good sense of motion and flow. Mm-hmm. And you always know what's going on, but it just stays so dynamic the whole time. And My Hero Academia is so good.
And like, there's so much like emotion behind like every, like, the fights are just so great, especially because of that. Not only are they drawn well and they're dynamic and exciting and always unique, but like there's always just so much else going on inside every fight.
And the stakes are always really high, always. Even if it's something as simple as, you know, passing the entrance exam, even that felt like tension, you know, you can just feel it in your soul. You're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I mean, you knew he was going to get in because he's the hero.
There otherwise there'd be no series, but like, you know, just like watching it happen for the first time, watching him use it one for all for the first time.
Oh, it felt
and
so
like,
good, right?
It's just like, oh, it's just so cool.
It's so cool.
Everyone has such unique powers, and the way they utilize them is incredible.
And even with the horrible caveat of one for all for quite a while, it just looks cool, you know?
Because whenever he uses it, you know it's the good time.
Yeah, exactly, because he's a smart kid.
Something cool is going to happen because he's using one for all. Can
we just talk about how cool Izuku as a main character is?
Oh, he's great. I love this. This kid is so endearing because he's the best kind of combination of like the hothead with the tactician, with the sacrificial paragon. Like he's all the best kind of combination to make just a really endearing, an interesting character.
Yeah, and he still has a lot of those kind of flaws and
But one of the big overarching like things about what I really love about My Hero Academia is like it's you know, plus ultra, going beyond your limits, but it also really shows the consequences of what happens when you overexert yourself. Like every main character has like a reason why they can't overexert themselves.
Exactly. And I think, I mean, he's just so genuine. And I mean, we keep coming back to that a lot. I'll keep coming back to it while we keep talking about this. Izuku, and especially All Might, who, as you know, especially, is probably my favorite character in anime in a long time ever. They are both just so genuine. Nothing ever feels like they're trying too hard to make these characters seem more morally upright than they are.
Yeah.
Because
like people call Izuku out for being too like nosy sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And he never feels, you know, sometimes a series will kind of fall back on the character is noble because I say they're noble.
Yeah.
But then you never really get a sense of it. You don't. You're like, oh, they do good things, but you never get a sense of like they're a good person. It's just they do good things. You really do get a genuine sense that Izuku is a good person who is just trying his damnedest.
Yes.
And God, you just want to root for this kid no matter what.
You mentioned All Might being a paragon, and I want to comment like really briefly about like one of my fears, and this is also a fear I had for One Punch Man, and I'm really glad both series subvert it so strongly, and that's in today's age, when you think of superhero parody, the one that comes to mind, like especially for me, is what if Superman were drunk and he did a lot of drugs and what if he was like super corrupt and like he's not really a good guy after all.
It's such a gimmick.
And you're like what like. There's a comic out there by like Garth Ennis and fuck Garth Ennis.
Oh god, Garth Ennis.
Called The Boys, and I read it like right around the same time I started started watching One Punch Man. And The Boys is a thing where it's like, what if all the superheroes in the world were just dirtbag celebrities who were more inclined to do drugs and fuck each other than they were to actually be superheroes? And like that bit lasts for like 10 issues before you're just like, ugh.
It's just so needlessly grim. It's just such an attempt to
be edgy.
Yeah, to feel smarter than you really are. You know?
And like, but and that was my fear, like going into One Punch Man and My Hero Academia. Is like, okay, well these are clearly Japanese kind of like parodies of the superhero genre. Like, what direction are they going to go in? Are they going to show these heroes being dirtbags? And no, the heroes are goofy and they're wacky and they're silly, but they're so honest about everything.
Oh, absolutely, especially All Might.
Yeah. My biggest fear was that All Might was going to have like a sinister secret. He was going to be a secret villain.
Oh, I know.
And like the idea would be that Deku has to fight his hero.
Right.
But because when you first see All Might, he's in shadow and his face is obscured and like, he's coming out of the explosion. He's like, I'm here to save you. And it's like, dude, what if he caused that disaster?
Right, absolutely.
Which is what I was afraid of. But like, no, he is just such a genuine hero.
He is 100% everything he says he is, and maybe even more so that.
He's every good quality of Spider-Man and Captain America and Superman. Just all in one character, and it's that's so refreshing.
And I adore this character. I am so completely and utterly delighted by how he's been written, how the author handles him, just because he is perfect,
He's perfect in that he struggles.
And he's so flawed. Like he is strong, and he's that symbol of peace, and he wants to do the right thing no matter what. So in everybody's eyes, he is literally perfect, but he's totally not. He's massively flawed character who is just like the main character, is still just trying his best. And God,
he just wants to be the best he can be. And I just love that, like, there's that bit after the USJ arc where the detective, I can't remember his name. There's the problem with reading a new manga is like, oh no, everyone's Japanese names are so hard to memorize.
Sukao. I know what his name is spelled like. It's just really hard to say.
Yeah, same with Yaoyorozu, which I can never say right. I've tried to practice her name on the way home, but anyway,
the detective.
Yeah, the detective. Where after the USJ arc, where he's coming to talk to All Might about the Nomu they captured, and All Might's like, wait, before that. Are Aizawa and 13 okay?
Yeah, are the students, is everybody okay?
Yeah, the first thing he cares about is everyone okay? Is everyone safe?
And it's so...
And it's just so endearing. It's just a little thing that just makes him all the more endearing.
And
it's the same thing you get where after the fight where Shigaraki Shigaraki, right?
Shigaraki, yes.
Yeah, where after he bails and it's Kirishima who runs up to Izuku and make sure he's okay. And it's like, it's not, one of the main characters. It's this guy who's known Deku for like 3 days, 2 days at most. And he's just like, dude, is he okay? Like, they're already such good friends. And
it's so... it's so great just to see
I love it.
The interactions and the fact that all of this is done with a 100% sense of, like, these characters are completely genuine. They're good people. They're good people with flaws, absolutely, but they are still... Even the asshole rival character, who is my third favorite character in this series, the asshole rival character is, at his core, a good person. Yeah,
Bakugo is just so genuine, even in his assholery, because... it would have... Like, same thing, it would have been easy to have him be the rival traitor.
Yeah, he could have been Sasuke, and they set him up. They keep setting him up to try and, like, the author kind of keeps playing this fake out, like, is he the Sasuke? No, he's never the Sasuke. And
his hero is All Might.
And everybody in the world thinks he's a Sasuke. You know, that during that press conference with Aizawa and the principal, where they're like, well, Bakugo's been kidnapped and he's kind of an asshole. Are you sure he's a villain? And Aizawa's like, no, fuck you. That kid has a good heart.
Yeah, I love that's my favorite part. Is like Aizawa, who is a cynical asshole. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
Even he's like, no, there's no way Bakugo would ever turn to evil. I know this kid very well. There's no way it will happen.
Because at his core, that kid is still a good person, and I just think that's so great.
I love that bit where like people are harshing on him for the way he treated Uraraka in their fight.
Yeah.
And like they're like, how could you pick on a weak little girl? And he's like, where did you see weak?
Yeah. How do you think that Ochako is a weak little girl?
Yeah.
There's no possible way, you know?
Because like they're like, oh, he's toying with her, he keeps blasting her away, and Aizawa's like, dude, he's on the defensive.
Yeah.
Because he knows that if he slips up, he's fucked. Yeah. Because he's intimidated by her.
Because she's so unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that's, like, the craziest part of all of it is that the only reason she even lost to Bakugo is because she ran out of stamina.
Yeah, exactly.
She was still, even after her first plan, you know, went awry, she still was like, I can still go, and then she dropped because she can't. And I just thought, that's awesome. You know, I do wish that the female characters in the series were getting a bit more spotlight.
Of course, yeah.
Because it again, it's still kind of by the numbers. But with that said, I still think they are all very well written. He's
giving them he's really trying to give them all their fair shot.
And I hope that as the
like
series progresses,
the fact that like Yaoyorozu is the smartest character in the school. Like she is a genius. She's a tactical genius, and she had that whole thing with her and Todoroki and Aizawa.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they're all getting their chance to shine. And
I'm just so glad for it. It's just so good.
It's heartwarming, and it's refreshing to see that. And it's such a, you know, we were talking about it while I was reading it, where I'm like, why would anything nice happen? But this manga just makes you feel so good sometimes.
Yeah, even when bad things are happening, like good things tend to follow it up. There's always, I mean, you know, this last arc that just wrapped up, the Bakugo rescue arc, I mean, it was pretty, you know, you're like, oh god, this is horrible. But by the end of it, I mean, maybe it's because I just love All Might so fucking much. But I was just sobbing by the end of it.
Yeah, no, I was trying so hard not to cry because just like watching everyone cheer him on, even though he's in skeleton mode and his secret is out. Like the one thing he feared the most is like, oh god, what if these people see me when I'm weak? Like, what will happen? And what happens is they still love him.
Because he's still All Might. Like,
he's still the hero.
There's like one panel where somebody even says like, okay, he looks like that, but that's still All Might,
yeah.
right? And he can still stop them. And he totally does.
Yeah.
Like, even when he's at his, like, weakest point, when he's completely just burnt out and there's nothing even left in him, like, he can still just rally and do what needs to be done. I was just in tears.
I'm such a sucker. I'm such a huge sucker for, and I know you don't usually like it, but I'm such a sucker for the bit where literally everyone is cheering the hero on when he's at his lowest point.
It can be done. It can be done well. It's just really hard to do it well.
I'm such a sucker for it. Every time I see it, I'm just like, yes, it's so good. I love it. Everyone wants you to win.
It's so hard to do it well, but in this case, because of the genre, it doesn't feel as cliche. Because it's the kind of thing, again, you'd see in a superhero comic where nobody wants Superman to die.
Yeah.
You know? It's the same thing. So, like, in that case, it fits. It didn't feel, like, weird or out of place.
Yeah,
you know?
it really, it just, like, there's that, and there's, like, I love the overarching theme of, like, people, one of the things, like, people complain about a lot, and I don't think it's very fair to complain, is, like, people like, Deku shouldn't have gotten a quirk. He should have been, you know, a gadget hero, or he should have, because, like, they think the lesson is anyone can be a hero, but no, you have to have a power, because Deku was only a hero when he got a power. But that's not really the lesson of the series. The lesson of the series is pushing yourself beyond your limits.
Right.
And using what you have and growing from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's you see that with so many characters, and I love the bit where it's where Izuku was fighting Todoroki, and he's like, dude, in the school festival, he's like, dude, everyone here is giving 100%. Uraraka is giving 100%, Bakugo is giving 100%, Ida's giving 100%. You're literally half-assing it. Don't insult me like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though, obviously, Todoroki could have taken him down with only 50% of his power because, Deku was at his limits. Mm-hmm. But
Deku was literally grinding his bones to dust.
Absolutely. And even then, he's like, dude, don't insult me by, beating me with half of your power. It's not, it's not your parents' powers, it's yours. And I'm just like, oh god, I love you.
Oh, the tears are coming again. Oh no.
The tears. Oh no, why can't I stop crying while reading this series? I cry so much reading this series because I'm just so weak.
I'm just so invested in it.
I am. The first, man, you want to talk about tears, and I mean just like, and granted, maybe, this isn't maybe a thing that should be said like on a, video game podcast, but fuck off, I'm a girl. I was PMSing like super hard that week when I started watching My Hero Academia.
Oh no!
I was like super hard, and so I got to the first 3 episodes, which are just a complete emotional meat grinder.
Oh yeah, dude, you can be a hero.
Oh god.
Just fuck off, okay? Fuck off. We're 20 minutes in. Fuck off.
You've got to chill, please. You have to calm down. Just the you can be a hero scene was just so, because like I was PMSing and I knew that emotion where it was just suddenly like, oh god, I'm so happy that like I can literally not stand. Like, oh, I'm tearing up thinking about it right now. I'm like, oh god, it's so good. Because, like, it was just so, like, the emotions were so raw. Like, the way they portrayed it made it seem like it was such, like, it was just such a deep emotion that you were just like,
I know,
stop crying.
It's so, just, like, it does it so well. Absolutely. In just really making you just care so much about all these characters.
You want them to succeed. You just really want them to succeed at everything, you know?
And just things like, even like the most minor characters. Like, I love, there's a really, really great bit where it's, oh god, what is the rock guy's name? Kota? No, not Kota. Kota's a little kid. The rock guy, Anima, who can talk to animals.
Yes, there's too many names.
Yeah, Anima, like, if I can't remember the name, I just go by their superhero name, because I know the one's released. Where it's Anima and Jiro against, Present Mike.
Yeah.
And where, like, she's, like, trying to force him to talk to Bugs so they can win. And she's being harsh at first about it, and she's, like, yelling at him for being afraid of such a little thing. But there's that one panel where she suddenly gets really, like, soft and positive. And she's like, I know it's scary, but you have to do this.
Yeah, that's so great, right?
And there's just so many little moments where it's just like, these kids really care about each other.
Yeah, and you can totally feel it. You pick up on it. Like, they really do all just want each other to succeed. So now you're like, I want all of you to succeed. I want every single one of you to come out on top. I know that's literally impossible, but please, all of you need to win.
Literally, how many times have, like, the entire class burst into Deku's hospital room?
Oh, so many times.
Like, it has to happen at least twice, and I think maybe a third time.
I think so, yes.
They're just like, we gotta make sure our buddy's okay, because he literally destroys his body every time he attacks.
Uses his power. And man, wasn't it, like, super relieving when he didn't blow himself up, finally?
Yeah. When he started learning full cowl, I'm just oh, thank God, this poor kid. And then he blows his arms up anyway.
I know. Well,
Dipshit.
It's still his gimmick for now.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of that gimmick just yet,
Yeah, full power, one for all, 10,000% though. I mean, you go.
Oh, man. That whole fight was just... I can't wait for that fight in the anime when they finally get to that season.
Dude, next season is going to be the school festival, and we're going to get to see all those fucking fights animated.
Oh my god, the school festival animated is going to be so legit. Just for that race, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Turn that race into 2 episodes, and it wouldn't feel like dragged out at all. Like,
man, that race is great.
The race and just that moment where Deku blows his ass up to get over everybody, and you're like, what the fuck?
Where he uses literal sequence breaking techniques.
Absolutely. I had to go back 2 pages. I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then I read it again. I'm like, fuck yeah, kid, you get yours.
Oh, I just love it.
I want everybody to win.
Yeah, and like even like you said, like even Bakugo, who's such a dirtbag.
Asshole.
Like, let's be honest, he's an asshole.
He's a complete asshole.
He's starting to mellow out in like the most natural, best way possible.
And he's still just.
And he's still a dick.
He's still a complete dick, of course. But you know, when I started the series, I even was texting you. I was like, "What the fuck is this kid's problem?" And I was just like, "I will never like this kid." I was wrong.
Oh nope, you were wrong. You messed up.
I was wrong. I fucked up. I actually love this kid, because he's so fun.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
He's so fun. He's just so mad all of the time. And it's just fun. After a certain point, it's just funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he starts off being, like, an unlikable character, but as time goes on, he really starts to endear to you again.
Yeah, and you're just like, I love this kid. I was wrong. I love this kid. And I want all of them to do well, and I never want a single one of them to turn evil unless it's against their will.
Yeah,
like, that's the only time it would be acceptable.
Because, dude, Tokoyami losing control was fucking radical.
It was super fucking cool, right?
Dude, that was
awesome.
awesome.
It was super cool. I never realized. I saw Tokoyami, and I'm like, that's a weird gimmick. He's a bird guy. And then, at, like, 20 chapters later, I'm like, I love you.
I'm so predictable because, like, he's, like, my ideal character design. Like, he's got the full cape that covers his body, man. He's got the cool shadow powers.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that's me. That's right there. That's my kind of that's my jam.
That's so dope. I know. Everybody's powers are so cool. This really has been 45 minutes of us just going, ah!
Well, it deserves it. Honestly, this guy deserves it. Because he's making it happen.
He's making it happen, and he's making it work, and everybody's powers are cool, and even the most, like, rando thing can be made useful, which is, of course, the whole point.
Yeah.
Is that nobody has a bad quirk. There's no such thing as a bad quirk. It's just how you use it, which is awesome.
I can keep going.
Go for it. Absolutely.
Like, I just love how, like, everyone, like, my favorite thing is, like, people are, like, going back to the original point where, like, Deku shouldn't have gotten a quirk, he should have been a tech hero. Like, people are like, there is no tech hero. And I'm thinking, like, well, there doesn't need to be, because everyone's costumes are designed to amplify their powers. Like, and that's one of the cool things, like, Bakugo's got his I realized this today, literal hand grenades. That's what his gauntlets are. They are literal hand grenades.
You're right. That's so stupid.
Like, they're designed to collect his sweat and to channel the energy, and all of Uraraka's are designed to mitigate her queasiness.
And I like that, the Horikoshi even basically said, like, 95% of Iida's design is just to look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite bit in the anime, and I don't know if it was the manga too, but, like, in the anime where he's hamming it up as a villain was incredible.
It's not as much in the manga, because, again, the anime is a bit more padded out, but in a good way, not in a bad way, in a very well done way. But when he's just hamming it up as a bad guy, that's so much fun. Like, I love you, kid. I love all of these kids. Because we mentioned that we should bring it up earlier, and I'm going to right now, I love Deku's mom.
Yes!
I love that woman.
Dude, she is one of the most wholesome anime moms out there.
Ever. She just again, it's that whole thing of just, God help them all, they are just trying so hard.
She thought, and like, even when she screwed up, and she should have told, she shouldn't have apologized to Deku when she learned he didn't have a quirk. They have the whole thing where it's like, Mom, you shouldn't have said I'm sorry, you should have encouraged me more. Yeah. Like, she feels bad about that forever.
Absolutely. And the thing is, though, you can kind of see where she's coming from, because, like, in a way, I'm sure she thinks of it as, like, a failure of her own.
Yeah.
On her own part, because, like, her kid is supposed to get at least somebody's quirk, right?
Yeah, but that's the way it works. It's like, dude, you 80%, which actually, 20% of the population is still a pretty large chunk of the population to not have a quirk. But still, like, he should have gotten something, and, he doesn't, and she feels horrible about it.
Yeah, it feels, apologizing is more, because it just kind of feels like her fault. So, like, I understand, of course it was maybe the wrong thing. Yeah, but at the same time, you understand where she's coming from, too.
And they're also, speaking of that, like, when All Might said, you can't become a hero.
Yeah.
Even when he said that, like, at least... What I liked about that is he still followed it up with, but you can be a cop. I mean, they still protect people.
Yeah, you can still do something good.
He didn't completely try to crush this kid. He's like, he just told them have realistic dreams, and then he rolled it back because he realized he was completely wrong.
Of course, because
but still,
the kid is the most perfect hero ever.
But Deku's mom just is an incredible character for Deku to have supporting him like that.
And it's great to have an anime mom around and not
that's true.
She's not a dead anime mom. Hooray!
It's the dad who's just fucking gone.
And honestly, he doesn't matter because Deku already has a dad, and his name is All Might, and he's perfect.
And she's great. What really makes her great is that she fills that role of you gotta have the loved one who constantly frets over what the hero is doing.
Oh, yeah.
In comic books, in superheroes, you gotta have the Lois Lane or the Aunt May or the Mary Jane who's just oh god, he might not come home tonight.
Right.
And she does that so well. There was that bit in the latest chapters where she told All Might to his face, "I don't want my son to be taught by you anymore."
Oh yeah, and it was so it's handled so well, like everything else in this series, because she was willing to say, she's not willing to just sit by and worry. Mm-hmm. She's willing to say, I'm not comfortable with this. There are other schools that I could send him to where he wouldn't be at risk of dying. Mm-hmm. And then she gets All Might to, beg, to literally beg on his hands and knees to understand. And after that, she's like, well, of course you can be my son's father. And I'm like, yeah.
Of course you can be my son's father. I mean, teacher.
I love All Might so much. Tattoo his name across my chest, please. I just want to rip my shirt off and be like, All Might, I love you.
That shot in the USJ arc where he bursts in and he's not smiling and something fucked is up.
All Might is pissed now. Come on, man. I can't even. I'm just trying to vocalize.
Because there's so much to cover.
There is.
There's still so many characters that I just love little bits about them.
And I feel like I'm forgetting them. I'm just
exactly.
Thanks.
There's the little scenes that just rip your heart out, like Todoroki visiting his mom.
Oh, I know. I want to see more of her because it sounds like that he's actually made it a habit. Because there's been a throwaway dialogue line where it seems like he's visiting her a lot now.
Yeah, he's trying to make up for lost time.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Just the fact that it sounds like his spare time, he's either studying or seeing his mother, who, unlike his father, is not a complete piece of shit. She was just driven to a total mental breakdown.
Yeah, she just kind of lost everything because she was forced into a loveless marriage with a dirtbag.
With a complete and horrible dirtbag. And she had a complete and total mental breakdown. And it sounds like they're both just trying to make amends and do better. There's so many not dead anime moms I'm realizing in this series.
It's so refreshing to not have a lot of dead anime moms.
Oh my god, Bakugo's mom isn't dead and she's awesome.
I love Bakugo's mom so much.
She's so cool.
She's talking to Aizawa and All Might and she's literally beating her son up.
She's like, if you hadn't been such a little bitch to get kidnapped, and I was like, I am gonna send you a Valentine's Day card, ma'am.
And his dad's just kind of like, yes, dear.
She's just so normal, and then they're both just so and they have she has the cool hair him.
She's got the cool mom look.
She's the coolest mom. She's like the anti-Izuku's mom, which is perfect, of course.
Which I have to imagine, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but because Izuku and Bakugo were friends when they were kids, I gotta wonder if their moms are friends. Oh, and I want to see them interact, because that would be hilarious.
I want them to be friends. I need them to, I didn't even consider that until this very second, and now I'm just thinking, I'm just gonna say it's canon. Because
I want Ultimate Worry Mom to hang out with Ultimate Party Mom.
Absolutely, and just be a pair of awesome moms together, and they can shit talk and have tea and cookies and be happy and not dead. They can be not dead. That's the best part of all of this, is that nobody's mom, as far as I can tell, is dead. Except for All Might's kind of mom, but
All Might's mentor, which was she's so cool looking. Oh my god.
So cool. She looks so cool.
I hope we get. We're gonna see more of her.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, we'll get the obligatory flashback chapter that's about All Might's like actual backstory. God willing, it won't be when he dies, motherfucker.
Yeah, he better. Speaking of not dying, All Might better not die.
Better not fucking die, motherfucker. I'll go all the way to Japan to kick Horikoshi's ass if he kills.
Super pissed. Because this is like the first time where like the mentor character is an actual character and gets to stick around.
Yeah.
Because it's so important to the story that All Might is there.
It's so important to like Deku as a character to not only respect All Might but also go beyond him, which is again, hey, go beyond plus ultra.
Plus ultra.
It's so important to have All Might be there to see Deku outgrow him in a way, to where he doesn't need to be All Might. Like, you know, at first his whole identity was kind of based around, well, I'm going to be All Might, and then when it got to that part in the manga where he was picking his superhero name, he's like, well, I can't be All Might, and I don't want to be All Might. I have to be my own person. And so he just decided to go with Deku, which was awesome.
Which is, you know, the follow-up to one of the cutest scenes in the entire series.
Oh my god.
With Uraraka telling him that she thinks Deku sounds like you can do it. And he's like, I'm Deku!
My name's Deku! I'm just, yes.
I love... That's one of my favorite jokes in the whole thing is, I talked to a girl! Didn't actually talk.
I love his little hand thing. When he gets really excited, he puts his hands up to his mouth.
Yeah.
And he sparkles. I love this child. I want him to be safe and sound and kicking ass.
There's the fact that his phone avatar is All Might's face, because of course it is.
Of course it is, and the part in chapter 96 where he got to Deku's house for the first time.
Yeah,
and he's like, it's like skeleton All Might seeing all of this All Might merch all over the house, and it's like awkward.
Did you have the translator note where it's revealed that Deku's T-shirt says dress shirt on it?
Yes, I love this kid. That's his idea of a dress shirt. It's just write the word dress shirt on a t-shirt. Absolutely.
And it's like, it's because, you know, he's friends with All Might. Like, he doesn't have to dress up for All Might.
No, he's like besties with All Might. All Might is his dad.
Yeah.
All Might is his dad. Look, Deku's real, actual blood father could show up in the manga tomorrow, and I would be like, that's not his dad.
Yeah, All Might is his dad.
All Might is his dad. Who the fuck are you? Get out.
Fucking seriously, that bit where he's like, despite my condition, I will continue training you.
Oh, you want to talk about crying again? Don't make me cry, Horikoshi. I was crying again at that part, because it was a hug, and they hadn't hugged all series. There had been like shoulder pats and high fives and all that good stuff, and finally we got like a real dad hug, and I was like,
I love just like how much All Might cares. Like, he refers to everyone by young blank.
Bakugo shonen.
Yeah, young Bakugo, young Midoriya, young Todoroki. It's just like this guy is just he cares so much.
He cares too much. Please don't die.
Yes.
Please don't die, All Might. That's all I need. I need this skeleton to live. And
like I said, like all the heroes, like how much they care. Like even the ones that are clearly in it for showbiz, like Mountain Girl.
Yeah.
Like even she's like, no, she's a superhero first, and then a glory hound second.
Yeah. Even she, like at that one point with the All for One fight.
Yeah, where she knocks them out of the air so the kids can escape.
That was so great. She's like, I'm still a hero, and I'm like, I love you too. You've only been in it for like 4 chapters, and I love you. I just love everybody. That's the problem.
It like I said, it's very much like One Punch Man, where all of the like, I don't know how far did you get into One Punch Man?
I'd like 5 or 6 chapters. I need to read more.
Yeah, you need to, because like there's a really, really good bit that just proves that like even in a parody manga, like you can still have these great heroes in it. It's just so refreshing to have that kind of like I said earlier, I was like it's so refreshing in this era of cynical superheroes. Like you said, it's very paint by numbers shonen manga. Mm-hmm. As a superhero comic, it is leaps and bounds climbing up as one of my favorite ever.
Oh, absolutely! Like it's not going to change the world as a shonen manga, but as a superhero series, absolutely, it just feels so different and so much more. It's very lighthearted, it's fun, but it's still not, the idea of lighthearted in American media still feels like, unless you're Steven Universe, which is an episode you still need to do.
Yep.
unless you're Steven Universe, generally speaking, in American media, they think lighthearted means childish.
Yeah, childish and boring and,
safe and sanitary. But it doesn't have to be, and I think that's the appeal of My Hero Academia, is that it never goes for the safe route, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, even in its lightheartedness, that just makes the more intense moments hit so much harder. And
God, they are so intense. They are so intense. God. I just, the All for One fight, United States of Smash.
Oh, the best!
The single greatest attack name in the history of any series ever.
That just wins.
United States of Smash. I love this Westaboo. I love this Westaboo hero. He's amazing.
And like there's also those just moments of just pure tension when Shigaraki has Deku by the throat. Like, literally by the throat.
Literally.
For that entire chapter. And you know he's going to get out of there, okay, but, like, you're still sweating bullets the entire time.
Because he can get... Yeah, like, he's the hero. He's going to survive.
Yeah.
But it's more an issue of, like, how unscathed is he going to be.
You had that line where he's like... Where Izuku's like, if you try anything right now, a hero will show up. And Shigaraki goes... Yeah, but I could kill, like, 30 people before he shows up.
Oh, I know, that was so, like, it was such a gut punch line.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, why that affected me so much. I guess
it's because he's right.
He's right, because it would be such a hopeless situation for so many people there. They would be complete, like, people have quirks, but a lot of people don't know what to do with them. And
yeah, they don't know how to fight with them. They use them for practical reasons.
And everybody would be, it's just such, like, oh, wow. It would be such a helpless moment. I guess it's kind of like the idea of like being in a crowded building and somebody pulls out a gun.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he'll be stopped eventually.
But you don't know. And there's always that chance that you won't live to see that. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And there's also, I think what made it even more tense is even though she saved him, when Uraraka showed up, like, my heart nearly stopped because, like, what can she do?
Nothing. And I mean, really, nobody could do anything. I love the way he kind of wrote Ochako realizing that, this is a bad situation.
Yeah,
because
like, it slowly dawned on her, and, like, she was just as paralyzed as Izuku was.
Yeah,
because,
she goes, let him go? Kind of, like, hesitant, but also knowing, like, this is not a good thing.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, well, good. All that's happened is now she is in danger too.
Exactly. And
like, if he wanted to, he could have just killed both of them right then and there and been done with it.
But he's in it for the long haul. He's in it for the game.
And you got that fucking creepy face when he's like, I need to kill All Might.
Oh my god. Oh god. The creepy faces. The creepy faces in that whole scene where they both realize that it's, where it's Shigaraki and Deku realizing, like, everything is about All Might.
Yeah.
Everything is about All Might, and I mean that was just it was so punchy. It was so punchy where you're just like, oh man.
There's that, and there's also, like, the scenes in the training camp, like in the forest, where it's just like, dude, this is getting really dangerous for all these kids.
Yes.
Like when who was it? I think it was Deku and I think Todoroki. Or no, was it? Yeah. And they just found Shoji's arm?
Yes.
And they couldn't tell if it was Shoji's or if it was, who else was it with him? Crap, who was it?
It was, Tokoyami.
Yeah, Tokoyami and Shoji, like, whose arm is this?
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh god. And then like, of course, Shoji can just regrow limbs, but, like, it's still like, there's a severed arm here. These villains mean business.
Yeah, it's punchy. Like, it's just really well done. The pacing is so tight. There's no breathing room, and that's a good thing, because you can tell that Horikoshi is here to tell a story. It's not like, and I know you like One Piece, so I'm not trying to drag One Piece too hard. I have a lot of problems with One Piece, but I'm not going to get into it, because I know you like it. But you can tell that Horikoshi has a very definite story to tell.
The difference is that Oda is clearly just he's having fun creating more, whereas as Horikoshi is like, here is my story. I know where it's going to happen. George R.R. Martin had a really good quote about that, where he's like, it's something like the lines like, there's builders and there's gardeners.
Yeah.
Where it's like, gardeners want their story to expand and grow, builders know exactly where it's going to go, where every piece is going to go.
And neither is wrong. Like,
Yeah,
neither
and,
route is the wrong way to go.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, it is very refreshing to have a manga to be only 97 chapters in and feel like it's at the halfway point.
Yeah, to have so much plot already.
And not feel rushed.
No, absolutely. Like, it feels very well paced. There's been a lot of character development. There's been a lot of really good moments, and there have been those kind of quiet pillow moments between the big action sequences that have really helped it. It doesn't feel rushed at all, but it does feel very driven. Like,
yes.
It feels very, very steered in a certain direction.
There is a route he clearly wants it to go down, and he's not in the business of trying to expand on that or to stall for time.
Right, exactly. He's just like, I have exactly what I want to do in mind, and we're going to go with it.
And I really hope he can continue on this train of giving everyone... Because what I really love is, like, the story arcs don't have, like, their designated moments, where it's like, okay, here is the designated fight between Izuku and the villain. Here's the designated fight between Bakugo. Here's the designated fight for Uraraka. Here's the one for Ida.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, dude, most of the arcs, like, the kids don't even fight.
No, they don't.
Like, they're trying to run.
Yeah, they're mostly just... I mean, they're kids. Of course they can't really fight back. Even... I mean, Deku fights against that muscle guy, but... I mean, he literally has to completely and utterly destroy himself to even hope to survive. So, it really does a good... You know, a lot of series kind of have that flaw of making kids too powerful.
Yeah, because it's like you know, stuff like the Naruto comparison, where it's like the kids are the ones who are going to be the heroes and save the world, while the teachers who are supposed to be better than them will kind of sit on the sidelines and let the kids do their job.
Yeah, exactly.
But for this one, it's like it's the complete opposite, where it's like the kids aren't even legally allowed to fight.
No, they're not. And that scene though, where Aizawa gives permission. It's so dope.
Yo, that's
it. It was so cool. Like that whole talk about like that sense of movement.
Yeah.
Where like those panels are so well done, where it flows from like the bottom right hand corner, and just flows to the left in like a perfect like curve.
Yeah.
Those panels are so well done. Horikoshi is an incredible artist.
He is just nailing it, man. The scenery, the dynamic character position, like the poses they do, the way the powers are like illustrated.
There's like a real sense of action and weight between like with every fight and all of the way powers are portrayed. It has it's very well done. He
clearly is a man who knows what he's doing when it comes to drawing.
And God bless him, he just gets better too. Because like there's already been in 96 chapters, there's been a huge art evolution already.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped up his game.
And I just think that's incredible. I mean, I'm so glad for this series. I'm glad I gave it a chance. You know,
yeah, it's worth it. It's totally worth it. And I know we've spoiled a lot of stuff, like sort of.
Kind of, but not really.
Because we both know what we're talking about, we don't really go into a lot of spoilers.
We can at least kind of dance around the really spoilery things, but, you know,
So yeah, if you are listening to this and you haven't read it or watched it, do give this manga a shot, buy merchandise, buy the volumes, because it is wrecking shit in Japan. It's not doing well in America.
Is it not?
That's what I've heard.
That sucks.
But I mean, who cares? It's crushing it in Japan.
I mean, it's absolutely.
That's where it matters.
In Japan. Yeah, they keep selling out. Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tenkos just keep selling out. Like they've had to do third and fourth reprints of the sixth Tenko, and I'm just in awe.
Go buy the volumes in your local bookstore. Buy the DVDs if they eventually come out. Subscribe to Funimation and watch the dub. The dub's pretty good, actually.
Is it? I haven't watched it yet.
They got Chris Sabat to do All Might, of course, but he's not just doing his standard Dragon Ball Z voice. He's actually stepping it up, and he gives a really kind of like cool vibe for both Skeleton Might and All Might.
Oh, good.
Like they both have like very distinct, different voices.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about the dub is that they changed the my favorite line in the entire series.
Which one?
Which my favorite line in the entire series, my favorite line is, "Oh my goodness!" is my favorite line in the entire series.
How did you change that? It was already in English.
They changed it to something like "holy freaking super crap," and I'm like, no, it was so good in English.
Why would you even change that? That makes no sense. It was already in English.
I know.
You didn't even have to match those lip flaps. It was already done for you. What the fuck?
It was just like it's my favorite thing, and I love. My favorite thing about the manga, and you miss out on this in the anime a lot, but still watch the anime because the anime is super good. Mm-hmm. You miss out on this in the manga. First off, there are a lot of of the crazy faces, the terrifying bits that will not translate very well into the anime.
Shigaraki.
Shigaraki's face when he realizes he needs to kill All Might will never be as good as it is in the manga.
Ever.
But the other thing is, dude, the author of this is such a fucking nerd.
He's such a fucking
He
nerd,
names all the
right?
cities after Star Wars planets. He fucking has Mario characters showing up as silhouettes.
He references Alien 3.
Yeah. Mina wants to name herself Alien Queen.
Oh man, he's such a fucking nerd. Like, he knows exactly where we are all coming from.
Mm-hmm. I told you this earlier, he's kind of like the Japanese Rebecca Sugar.
Oh, he absolutely
Who is like, they're both the people who like, okay, they clearly grew up watching all this crap, and now that they're professionals, they get to put all their favorite shit into their work of art.
Absolutely, they get to make their own. They basically did what we all said we'd do as kids.
Yeah.
They were like, when I grow up, I'm gonna make my own magical girl anime, or I'm gonna make my own superhero comic. I'm gonna make it fucking radical, and that's exactly what
they
both
went
of
out
them
and
are
did
doing.
it.
They went out and did it. God bless them both. And
I love all the, like, when I realized that
Gran Torino is just Yoda?
Gran Torino is just Yoda. He's literally
just Yoda.
He lives in the Dagobah district.
He lives in the Dagobah district.
He's got a stick. He's a quirky old mentor man. He's just
around.
Yoda. He's literally just Yoda.
He is just Yoda. He's anime Yoda. That's exactly it.
And when I realized that, I had to like stop reading for a minute, and I'm just like, God damn it,
motherfucker. Yeah, I understand. I understand completely. I
love it.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that Aizawa's superhero name is Eraserhead. Come on! Like,
I love.
Nerd.
Speaking of fucking faces, Aizawa's goddamn face when he's like, it was a practical. This asshat.
This motherfucker. This trashy piece of shit who cleans up pretty nice.
Who is your second favorite character? I'm guessing because he's so pretty. Fourth? Who's your second then?
First is All Might. Second is Deku. Third is Bakugo. Fourth is Aizawa.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I love Bakugo so much. If All Might and Deku weren't so fucking pure, then Bakugo would be my favorite character in the series.
It feels so like bad. All Might is kind of along the same lines as like Isaac and Miria, where it's like, who's your favorite? When you people ask who's your favorite character, they're really asking who your second favorite character is, because we all know who everyone's favorite character is.
Absolutely, everybody's favorite character is All Might. I don't want to know the person who doesn't like All Might. Like,
yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
to associate with
people
them.
who don't like All Might, I feel like the same people who don't like Superman. And I don't want to deal with that shit at all.
Oh, no, I never want to. Those kind of people are the worst. So, no, absolutely not. Like, yeah, All Might is everybody's favorite character, and then everybody else's. But I told you, but I'm going to tell you again. I am looking at my cell phone right now, and the background of my cell phone is that color panel where Bakugo is on Kirishima's shoulders, and he's going, "Nah, dude, I'm mad fucking calm," and he's super pissed off.
Oh, I love that. I want so much for Kirishima and Bakugo to hang out more. I want to see more of them just being a crazy duo.
They are such a good duo, right?
That bit where Deku's like, Bakugo, Kirishima, you are the only one Bakugo will ever listen to.
Yes! Oh my god, that was
you
so
need
good.
to call out for him because he'll just ignore me, who he has known since kindergarten.
But he even acknowledges that, like, he would ignore Iida, and he would ignore Momo, which
Yeah.
is her first name because I can't say her last name. He would ignore Iida and he would ignore Momo, but Kirishima is the only person in the class that he seems to respect and think of as his equal, or at least not completely and totally beneath him 1000%. He respects Kirishima, and so it had to be Kirishima to do it because nobody else would. He wouldn't listen to anybody else. And when he does jump up to grab Kirishima's hand, he is legitimately smiling.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the first real smiles in the series, and you're like, yes! Victory!
It's really peeking through, because there's also that bit where when Bakugo gets kidnapped and he's being dragged to the portal and he tells Deku to stay back, that's not out of like frustration or anger at Deku, that's out of fear.
Yeah, it's stay back because you will get your ass killed.
Yeah.
And
it's
okay, a little bit more before we wrap this up, because
no, I'm okay to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. The part where Shigaraki is like, "Hey, kid, don't you want to join us?" And Bakugo
and he's like,
straight up like, "Fuck you."
Fuck off.
And he even says like, "Yeah, I could have like pretended to want to hang out with you guys until somebody came and rescued me, but I'm tired of hearing your bullshit."
Yeah.
Like,
he's and like I remember what his exact line is. What is his exact line where he's like something along the lines of like my hero is the way All Might looks when he wins.
Yes.
No, yeah, it's I'm fully or like something I'm fully invested in the way All Might looks when he wins. Like that's his reason. And it's just like, oh, this kid's so great.
This kid's great. This kid, I mean, he's such an asshole, but he's a good person, too. And you're just rooting for him. You're rooting for him the way you root for everybody else. You want him to win. You want him to come out on top and be everything.
My favorite thing about him is it was during the school festival arc where he's just so pissed off that Todoroki held back.
That Todoroki that gave up.
Furious.
Yes. He's so mad they had to chain him down because he's so pissed off. Which is one of the funniest scenes.
He hates it. He hates that he won on a technicality.
Oh,
no, he wants to win at someone against their absolute best.
Yeah, he never ever wants to win because it's easy. He wants to take the hardest route. He always wants to take the hardest route because not only he knows, one, it'll make him stronger, but two, if he takes the hardest route and wins, everybody has to acknowledge that he is the best.
Yeah.
So not only is he making himself stronger, but he's also kind of earning himself that place in the spotlight that he wants.
Exactly. He wants to be number one, and he wants it to mean something.
Yeah, he doesn't want to just have it handed to him. He wants to work for it. He's not like that asshole rival character who just has everything handed to him on a plate.
He is anti-Sasuke, and I know we keep bringing it up, but like, holy shit. And I'm not a huge fan of Naruto. I appreciate that Naruto existed. And because it was popular, and I appreciate it in the sense that it was popular, and dude, he made a ton of money off of it.
Good for him.
And the early parts were pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good for a little while.
I fucking hate Sasuke.
Yeah, fuck Sasuke. He never once had a redeeming moment ever.
No.
In the entire... And I read it for a long day time.
Oh yeah.
I read it until the end of the rescuing Gaara arc after the... After the time skip, once that was done, I don't know, something about what was going on, it just was kind of starting to drag its feet, because the Rescue Gaara arc was really good, actually. It was, like, really tightly put together, and the pacing was really good, there was a very real sense of, like, emotional urgency, because you really didn't know if this guy was going to survive, and, you know, he had been doing such a good job of redeeming himself. So all of this was kind of coming together in this really good arc, and then it was kind of like Fonzie jumping the shark. You know?
Just like, I'm out.
After
I'm
that
done.
it was like, it kind of petered off and it didn't have that same sense of urgency ever again. And I was like, eh.
Yeah, and like I know we keep. I don't mean to like keep dragging other manga by comparing it to My Hero Academia, because that's not fair.
Right,
but so I'm saying this as someone who appreciates Naruto for what it is. I hate Sasuke, and I'm really glad Bakugo is the anti-Sasuke, and that everything that Sasuke does, Bakugo is the opposite of that.
He never has anything handed to him, and he's not interested in like petty revenge.
Yeah,
and he's not, you know, like
when Deku reveals his quirk, like it could have set up that he wants to just trounce Deku, but he wants to beat Deku in a fair, completely fair fight where they're both at their peak.
absolutely. And you know, he's not he's mad because he feels like Deku's been playing a trick on him this whole time.
That's the reason he's mad is not because he's jealous of Deku's power. He's upset because he feels like Deku has been looking down on him this whole time.
Yeah, and what a good, like, what a awesome way to write
the rival character.
Yeah, and I think I do kind of want it to be, I don't really want them to end up like best friends forever. You know what I mean?
No, I can understand that, yeah. I think, you know, like, honestly, I think Deku's best friend is Ida.
I think, yeah, Ida or Todoroki. I mean, him and Todoroki are so close already.
Mm-hmm.
That between those two, like, his closest friend is one of them, and Ochako, of course.
Yeah.
And I really don't want them to end up as, like, best friends forever. I want them to kind of stay friendly rivals.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's kind of established that Bakugo's friend is Kirishima, and you know, you can have, like, a best friend doesn't have to necessarily be the rival character, and be
the way it's being set up and the way he's kind of changing up the dynamics of each character, and that each character doesn't really quite fit their you know, archetype.
Yeah,
it's clearly setting up like they can have that in the series.
Yeah, exactly, that they can have multiple friends like normal people. You know. You can have somebody
it won't end up with them. There's a chance it won't end up with them being super best friends. Like, they can still just be rivals, and that will be fine it'll feel natural.
Yeah, because that's how they've always been, really. Like, Deku wants to be kind to Katsuki, to Bakugo, but he doesn't necessarily consider Bakugo his best friend. You know?
Like, he even knows that, hey, Bakugo doesn't like me. Like, he straight up admits that to Uraraka, where he's like, yeah, he calls me Deku because he's insulting me.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like, oh, that's just Bakugo playing. He's like, no, he doesn't like me and he's insulting me every chance he gets.
But he still wants to show him kindness, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they need or want even to be best friends. It's just, he just wants to show Bakugo that there's another way to kind of deal with the world that isn't just be angry all the time.
I want the moment where they are in a fight together and they just have that perfect, like, duo sync moment.
You mean like a dual tech? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I need them to have a real dual tech.
Dude, this series has dual and triple techs.
And the part during the training, like the final exam part, where Deku uses one of Bakugo's gauntlets, and they do that cool, they both shoot at All Might at the same time.
Yes!
That was so cool, right?
Why are we getting a fighting game when we could be having a dope Chrono Trigger RPG instead?
I don't know, how sick would that be? Oh my god, it looks so cool. That was so cool.
I can't wait to see that animated.
Oh, I know, right? Oh my god, it's gonna be so sick.
It's
gonna be so cool.
Oh, I love that bit where, like, it cuts back to, like, Deku and Bakugo, and they're both just on the ground, and All Might's just stepping on their heads.
Just like, aha, you little shits, I'm still the strongest hero. Like, man, and just, I do like that they even kind of teach the kids too, and they even use it later on at the vacation thing, where they teach the kids, like, hey, there's nothing wrong with running away.
Yeah.
You know? Like sometimes
hey,
you have to.
Yeah, you're children.
You are children. You
we
need to learn how
get
to
it
run.
that you're the main characters and that you are the heroes, but you're children.
You are 14 and 15 years old. It is perfectly normal for you to want to run.
What do you think this is, Naruto? I mean, I know he got a vote.
Yeah, I really hope that Deku's shoes would get higher up in the rankings, because they are very cool shoes.
When I read that Naruto legitimately got a vote, I lost my shit.
It's so perfect, because frankly, I would be that asshole too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Naruto's my favorite character in My Hero Academia. I'm that asshole. Of course I would. You know? I just, man, you know, My Hero Academia is really good.
It's really good. Okay, really good. I do want to follow up with just, wrap it up with two quick things.
Go for it.
If you are a fan of My Hero Academia and you like superheroes, support One Punch Man. Just go watch and read One Punch Man, because I really feel like One Punch Man is the older brother to My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I feel that.
It is the college student brother to My Hero Academia.
The drunk college student brother with a heart
exactly.
of gold.
Like, it's really fitting because, like, especially Saitama, Genos, and Tornado are basically have the same power set as Deku, Bakugo, and Uraraka,
Pretty much.
which I think is hilarious.
I feel that.
And it's just like it's the same thing where it's like it's a really endearing tribute / parody to superheroes.
Without ever being overly cynical.
Yeah, without being cynical, without being mean about it.
Yeah,
it's just
cool.
it's having fun with the cliches. The characters are so endearing. On the flip side, if you like the idea of wacky kids going on adventures and dumb teachers who are also kind of attractive sometimes, read Paranatural.
Oh, are you doing this to make me feel bad? Because I know I need to read Paranatural.
No, I'm telling the audience.
I know.
If you like this stuff, read Paranatural, because there are similarities in character reaction faces and what are clearly meant to be image macro tributes. It's the same where it's just like the characters are really wacky and endearing and fun, and there's a lot of story going on, and it's just like they're all just really good, and My Hero Academia is just so good, and it really deserves to be one of the highest ranking up there.
Please buy the My Hero Academia. You know, the Viz has licensed it, so there are now manga novels here in America that you can buy. I'm probably going to buy a few once I have some spare cash, because I really like.
I'll put that shit on my shelf.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a really nice bookshelf that needs filling.
And if there are
Funimation.
And if there are figurines, I'm gonna try to find some and order them, because those character designs are so good.
Oh, I know, they're so good. All of the character designs are so A+.
I want little figurines of the entire 1A class.
That would be awesome.
All of them. I want a chess set.
Yeah. Oh man, how cool would that be with the villains and the heroes?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so sick, right? Oh man, now I'm thinking about it. That's awesome. I didn't even think about that. That'd be so cool. Huh. But yeah, I think we've talked long enough.
Yeah.
We've been going on.
As time goes on, we might come back to that. Might come back to more My Hero Academia, or we'll do like a My Hero Academia roundup every couple of weeks.
Yeah, once more chapters have come out.
Yeah, once every arc or so, because that'll take like a month before the arc is over.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
I'm waiting for like 3 arcs in one chapter.
I believe it. I think he could do it. I'm waiting for the moment where he has 3 perfectly separate arcs running concurrently, and they never cross paths. In
a single page, a storyline starts and is resolved.
Absolutely. Like, I believe in Horikoshi, man. I believe in Horikoshi. I think that's a good note to end it on. Yeah. I believe in Horikoshi. Yeah.
Special thanks to Broken Free for use of our background music as always. Thank you all for listening. That'll do it for us.
Fuck Dima.
Go beyond.
Fuck Dima.
Fuck Dima and plus ultra.
Plus ultra.
Alright, good night everyone.
Good night.